You're listening to the Sass Says podcast. I'm your host, Christie Rocha, also known as Sass. I identify as a woman, a wife, and a mother. That should tell you a lot already. And over the last few years, I've learned the value of talk therapy. I have seen how my inner work not only enhances my own well-being, but also my marriage, my parenting, my relationships. And in fact, you wouldn't be hearing this right now if it weren't for the work I've done. My mission is to debunk the misconceptions and stigmas around what therapy is and who it's for. Let's normalize working on our mental health and seeking help when needed. We've all heard of self-care, self-help, and self-love, but do you often wonder how to actually make it all happen? I do. You'll hear strategy-based conversations with professionals, as well as inspiring and validating stories from women who are just like you and me. Think of this podcast as the weekly therapy sessions you didn't know you needed, with a dash of sass, a lot of vulnerability, and me, relentlessly asking, but how?
Hello. Oh, welcome to the 100th episode of the Sass Says podcast. 100. Wow! As per usual, I had a lot of plans and ideas for how I wanted to celebrate and mark this really exciting milestone, but as life would have it, those plans did not pan out. Shocking. I feel like I am a chicken with my head cut off recently. The kids' school schedule is totally bonkers. I need to completely reevaluate so that I can get back on track with some development for this show. And I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place. That being said, that's kind of what this episode will be about. Making plans, life laughing at me, and deciding to celebrate anyway. In sitting down to write this, I happened to have my website open and I caught the home screen, where if you haven't seen it, it says, "The therapy sessions we didn't know we needed." The reason I have that tagline is, one, because of my experience with therapy. I didn't know how badly I wanted and needed it until I was several weeks into the experience. And I wanted this podcast to convey the message that therapy can be and is for everyone who wants it. And you might not even know you need it, but give it a try. And two, I knew that I wanted to interview therapists and women who are willing and happy to share their own mental health journeys, that there was a part of me that thought that you could see each episode as an impromptu session, or at least a peek behind the curtain at what a therapy session would be like, so that maybe it would spark your interest. And you might call a therapist or a coach or someone. And even though I knew I was doing this podcast to learn, vent, and share right alongside you and with my guests and from my guests, these episodes really and truly are very often supplemental therapy sessions for me. If I'm not making a real-time connection in the conversation, I take the conversation to my therapist, to my weekly session, and say, "Hey, I just interviewed this person and something she said made me feel some sort of way. Can we please look at this and figure out what's going on?" Now, I love every guest I've had on this show. Seriously, I am not lying in the introductions of each episode when I say, I am so excited for you to hear this episode and learn from X person. Nor am I at all exaggerating when I say in the outros of each episode, "Oh, don't you just love her?" Because I do. I am absolutely thrilled and #blessed that each one of my guests has been amazing and has taught me something, has been willing to share really open and honest space with me. And truly, I've not once left an interview and thought, "Oh, I don't know. So when I scroll through my master sheet of all of the recordings I've done so far, I have no choice but to smile at the names of the women who have become acquaintances, colleagues, friends, co-collaborators, and some have even become confidants. I want to take a look back at the first 100 episodes and share some gratitude. Michelle Dempsey, you were the first person who I sent an email to thinking she's never going to see this. You were the first person of that, that group of people to actually open it and then say yes. I hadn't even launched my show yet. You took a shot and have supported me ever since. And I will never forget jumping up and down in my living room when I read your email saying, sure, send me the scheduling link. Libby Ward and Tara Clark, you ladies, man, you each took a similar chance on me, said yes, and delivered epic interviews. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. The two of you define the phrase women supporting women. I see you and thank you endlessly. And for those listening who won't be hearing their names, don't worry. I'm not going down the list episode by episode. Alex Bouffard, you were my very first interview, and you also gave me the opportunity to be the interviewee for the very first time. You are burned in my brain forever as the first of so many things. So thank you. Erin Washington, when you said, I'm in, don't bother pitching me, just send me the link to sign up, whatever it is, I'm doing it. You have no idea how much that meant to me. Thank you. Linda freaking Fruits. I remember texting my mom and going, oh my God, Linda Fruits not only answered my pitch, but she gave me her cell phone number and asked me to text her, Mom, I'm texting with Linda Fruits. You were also there for me on more than one occasion throughout quarantine to talk me off the ledge, and I'll never forget it. Thank you. Dr. Holly and Kerrie Mohr, you two made me feel like I could really do this in the sense that your interviews were the first two that I recorded with therapists. I was so afraid to interview therapists because I didn't want to sound like an idiot. But not only did you agree to speak with me, but you reshared our episodes and continue to support me in this show, and I thank you both so much. Carlie Nolan, Sarah Bilger, Amanda Gurman, and Meredith Huck. So much love. Thank you for allowing me to share space with you, get to know you, laugh with you, and even vent about the really crappy stuff that sometimes happens behind the scenes when you're building a podcast, a brand, a business, an online presence, and trying to be a mom all at the same time. Thank you, ladies. The Vanessas! Vanessa de Jesus Guzman and Dr. Vanessa Freeman. You two are some of the best and brightest cheerleaders and women who I can turn to when I need an Instagram live partner, a word of advice, or a friendly face to pop on my stories. I just smile every time I see you. Thank you. Unyime Oguta, Heather Chauvin, Dr. J, Adriana Keefe. Man, each of you has at one point or another, or on more than one occasion, lovingly whipped my butt into shape on air and off. You've quite literally helped change the course of my life and mindset, and I appreciate you all so much. Shanna Banana, Dr. Eyo, and Alissa, I'm getting confused, my Alissas, and Alissa McCormick. You are all women who get it. You support me, my causes, whatever I'm doing, and you always say yes when I have a new idea. Thank you. Diana Simon, mom, I should say. You both know what you do. Thank you for everything you do. Wouldn't be here without you, and your episodes are two of the most listened to on this show, so basically everyone agrees with me. You're fabulous. So as you can see, scrolling through just some of the names associated with the first 100 episodes, my heart is warmed. I can also see where so many of my pressing "but how" questions were answered. Chelsea Riffe, Jen Kalawur, and Tara Brunette, what you each have taught me and helped me learn about manifesting, spirituality, and self-development is, I can't say enough. And while I'm still learning, I firmly believe that some light switch is going to flip any freaking minute now, and it is going to be because of you. Christine Michelle Carter, Jax Anderson, Cara Tyrell, Gina Gersh. Man, my kids are thankful for you because you've each taught me something about how to be the best parent for my kids. I turn to you all regularly for guidance, wisdom, and expertise. Dr. Conason, Caitlin Parsons, Dr. Lenza, Stacy and Marcus Noggle. You've all played such a major role in my understanding of diet culture, body image, and holistic wellness. Your advice has changed my life forever. Corinne Voller, Gemma Rain, Dr. Overstreet, you three are our relationship gurus, and you have answered all of our burning marriage questions, relationship questions, sex questions, and each of these episodes I got feedback saying, give us more. So thank you. And obviously I could keep going. I'm not kidding when I say I have something I have taken from each of these 100 episodes. And while I've expressed much gratitude and love, I also wanted to share some kind of standout memories, some fun, some interesting. Chelsea Riffe noticed my vision board behind me in my office and gently pointed out that it's not really how you want to make a vision board. I was way too focused on material things and less focused on the feelings that I want in my life. And that was so critical and so crucial to my kind of understanding and sort of really just opening the door to really getting a grasp on manifesting and what I want to do with manifesting. Alyssa Weinzimmer, that was the first time I cried on air. I was talking about how I wanted more time to give to this show, but had the mom guilt, wanted to be present for my kids, and never feeling like I have a balance that feels good. And Alyssa, that is still true. So we should probably jump back on and have another cry session. Shaylin Forte, you were the first person to share with me an email response that you got to our episode. Someone wrote to her sharing that our episode together is what pushed the needle forward from just simply thinking about therapy to actually making the call. We were both thrilled. Someone actually sought help from hearing us talk, and that is amazing. Kat Nolf, you are my just social media. Oh, I just love you, and you supported me and my reels and my antics for some time well before we ever interviewed. So our interview was one of the first where it felt like I was talking to a friend. Sunny Von Mutius, our conversation about depression was one of the most validating and healing conversations on depression I've ever had with another human being. I could listen to that over and over and over again, and I don't know how you managed to make talking about depression feel so warm and fuzzy, but I'm forever grateful. And to all of the fellow podcasters who have given my voice a platform outside of my own platform, Alex and John Bouffard, Jen Kalawur, Dr. Stein, Carlie Nolan, Sarah Bilger, Amanda Gurman, Caitlin Cuevas, Jesse Shirleaf, Jess Gershman, Sarah Dalton, Lena Forstill, Dr. Overstreet, Carol freaking Cox, and Elizabeth King. I thank you all so much. And again, you can see just how much I've learned, grown, and enjoyed each and every interview on the show so far. And here's where I turn it back to you. What episodes resonated the most with you? What's a line from a show that sticks with you today? What's a concept that you heard that rocked your world? What's an episode maybe that you've had saved, haven't listened to yet, but are wanting to really make sure you get to it? Send me an email, send me a DM with some of your favorite moments on the show, favorite episode, a line, a teaching, or a guest. This is truly how you can help me celebrate 100 episodes. If you are a regular listener and like what you're hearing, please leave a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen. This is also how you can help me celebrate this really awesome milestone. There is truly nothing more heartwarming and fulfilling than to hear from someone who listens, someone who likes what they're listening to, and someone who feels validated and really resonates with the conversations I'm having. You can also celebrate with me by sharing those impactful episodes with friends, family, coworkers, whoever. It is so appreciated. And please check out my website, I don't often direct you there, and I need to be better about that because I have some amazing resources on there, including a free 5-day self-care challenge. It's super easy. This is a challenge with yourself to take care of you. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, for your support, and here's to the first 100 episodes, the next 100 episodes, and many, many more. Oh my goodness. 100 episodes. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Sass Says is a production of LuAnn Nigara, Inc. This podcast is meant to be educational and not meant to replace professional therapy or professional medical attention. To learn more about today's show and what's new in my world, head over to sasssays.com. Thanks so much. Talk later.